All the way from Slovenia, Matjaž joins me today. Hello, and how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you. Very, very honored to be here. I'm very glad. This is my first podcast, so
Really? Are you feeling all right? Are you nervous?
yeah, I'm a bit nervous. I wasn't nervous before, but now when it all started, it's something.
When my face appears is when you get nervous, is what you mean. So could you talk to me then about your early days playing football? So we're all football people. This is the reason that the podcast exists. But growing up in Slovenia, were you always interested in football?
Yes, because my father um, made me fall in love in football.
Hmm.
He made we always visited our hometown club Maribor, and when I was a kid, I admired some of the players playing there, and the crowd really attracted me. So I always wanted to play in these big arenas, big stadiums. That's how I came into football. Also, everybody in my class were already training, so I joined them. Uh, Firstly, it was mostly because of the friendship I came, and I was coming to trainings. Then I fell in love during the trainings and the years.
Well, of course, and I think that happens to all of us, right? We all love the game so much. You said your class was all into football as well, and obviously your country isn't a big country. So is it easy to get opportunity there, or is it a bit harder to become a professional footballer?
um, because of the I think it's easier in the early days because
Mm.
the population is 2 million, so that's very small. You can travel short distance between the first league clubs. You don't need to move or everything or anything, so you can be situated in your home city and still, like in 1 hour drive, you have like six first league clubs, and that really expands the horizon and the opportunities you have. So I think if you have the will and you are willing to make it pro, and you aren't like under pressure for money and under pressure of other people's opinion, I think it's easier because you're also in Europe.
Of course, and you mentioned money there. In England, for example, I mean, I don't know the percentage, but I know that there's a big bracket of people. So there's a lot of people who've got to pay to play football, and for a lot of people, it's hard to be able to afford it. So in your country, is it the same, or is it free to play?
No, it's you have to pay something, but the amount of what you have to pay monthly is is not so big. The money isn't so much. If you compare it to other sports like, I don't know, skiing, tennis, and there are huge numbers. Also in Slovenia, we are very um, we have this tendency to help people in need. So I think 95% of the clubs in Slovenia have this rule that if you come from a poor family or poor background and you aren't your family isn't financially stable, they don't they don't they just you can train for free. You don't have to pay anything.
Sorry there, my Alexa just went off for absolutely no reason. Let me write that down. 2 seconds. Uh, okay. So you later down the line did a master's. So I'm presuming you went to university. Is
Yeah.
what I mean. Is what I think it means. You went in Slovenia, right, into university, or did you go elsewhere?
Yeah, I went to Slovenia. I went to Ljubljana, so that's like a 1.5 hour drive. Um, I was there for 5 years, but I was feeling the city isn't the Ljubljana itself isn't like Maribor. I'm more the people there are more egocentric. They're all under pressure there. Um,
Hmm.
so that's why I drove from Maribor to Ljubljana. I didn't have an apartment there. But I didn't have any problem with that. I listened to podcasts during the drive.
Well,
The
it wouldn't have been my
university when I
podcast
when
back
I
then.
came when I have sorry. When I went to
Well,
university, I had the chance to go professional in football.
mm,
So it was like the same month decision. Um, and then I sat down with with my mom, and some of the people that mean really much to me. For example, my girlfriend, and I just had to think what I want in life.
mm,
Um, then the decision was made that I go to the university for sports, because I was always more interested in this, like training how to prepare others, how to this tactic side of football. Um, I also like to train, but I was very I wasn't really this. I was injured much, so I I was I was more into to training, how to train, how to develop other players, how to develop a team. That intrigued me more than the professional career in football.
mm. And you mentioned to me prior to starting the podcast that, I'm sorry to say, but your father obviously passed away when you were about 17 years old. That must have affected you mentally, and it must have taken you away from football at times. But at the same time, did football also help you to try and get over your dad passing away, although it's a really hard thing to do?
Yeah. The football was like a distraction during that time. I
Mm,
also had I was in luck because I had a coach who really supported me, helped me, also came, uh, also drove me home, talked to me, and that's how I went through it. At the start, for example, first few weeks weren't easy, but then because of this group I had in the team, it was getting easier. So also for my mom, when I saw my mom, she was happy when I went to training. So that really helped me for her. So I was really, but the first few weeks were stressful. Yeah.
mm. Of course, and I'm speaking from experience when I say that it obviously losing a loved one, losing a friend is never, and a father obviously is never ever a nice feeling. But later down the line, you start to realize, and it's a very odd feeling, that you are stronger than perhaps what you make out. And of course, it's all right to mourn, and it's all right to feel sad about what happened, but you do realize that there are ways to overcome it, and the people that are around you are just incredible. Have you got any siblings or friends or family that are still with you now that really helped you through that hard time?
I don't have any siblings, but the person that helped me most, that isn't my mother, of course, is my
Of course.
girlfriend, because we have been together now for 10 years, and she went through it with me. That
Mm,
really, I think, expanded our relationship, and also brought me closer to appreciate the things I have. So from that, like, day on, I really appreciate play. I really appreciated playing football. I really appreciated every training. So it really it mattered to me that they were there. I
mm.
remember the first game after he passed. I was on the goal, and some player kicked the ball from, I think, 18-20 meters, and it lobbed me. I was a goalkeeper, and I was so angry at myself. I started crying on the goal because I was like, I think 16, 17 at that time. And then when I came out, the coach, like, tapped my shoulder and said everything will be okay, and I felt so empowered.
Mm.
That memory really stuck with me to this day.
And it's a really, I'm smiling because of it, because it's there's some really good people out there, off the football pitch, also on the football pitch, that help you a lot. And we all know that sport is a great way to distract, like in your situation. we are going to speak about your individual clubs starting in 2021 of where you've coached, but you are a UEFA A coach and you've got those badges. You're one. All you need to get is the pro before you've completed the full set. When are you going to get the pro done? Is what my question firstly is.
I have to do. I already have the UEFA A for 2 years, so I marked that one. I need to get the points because I need to coach someone in some team or be a part of a team that is in first or second or third division. So that this is where I'm hoping to get in the next year. It's definitely a goal for me to do it to do UEFA Pro in the next, let's say, year or two, because I really want to do football professionally. I want to make it work here.
And I think you will. I mean, you're a young guy, and you're, as we said, one away. And you've got, even if it's not happening in the next 1 or 2 years, you've got the next 5, 6, 8 years to be able to do it. And I think you'll get there.
Yeah.
If you believe in yourself, I think you'll do it.
Yeah, I think so too, because I also have the support at home. I really want to learn, so that's why every year I invest in myself. For example, now in December I was in the this analyst program in the our FA, and it really I made new connections. I learned new things, and really I on the next level. I really upped the training, so I can help the team more.
And I think I know what you're going to tell me when I ask you this question. But in terms of all of the badges, have they been worth your time and the money? Because I know that it might vary actually depending on where you do it. But let's base it off your case. Is it worth the money that you've paid to do the badges?
I think this some people see it like that. If you go to a course, for example, or you are going to get a badge, you pay, like, let's say 500 euros, and you get some knowledge. But I think it's not in the knowledge; it's about making connections. I think these connections are worth it. For example, now I went to this analyst program and I made like 20 very good connections in the FA, some in the other clubs. I think you need these connections to get ahead of others and to make your way in football. I think those connections make it worth the money you put in.
Exactly that. And so let's speak about 2021. You became a youth coach. Was your first like proper role into things. That would have been when you had your B or C license. So let's just say B license. For you to coach in your first few experiences with the under 7s, the under 11s, what were your first expectations? Because for me, I'm thinking about if I was a new coach and I was going into things, I might overcomplicate things and say I want to play wing backs and I want to have a DM or I want to do all these crazy things, and it's like, whoa, take a step back.
Yeah, I'm probably I went some my coaching path was some sort of special, because I really went to school and to university and there get knowledge, and then went into practice. But usually it's the other way around. So that's why I came with this huge theoretical knowledge. Then I needed to put in practice. I picked under 7s because there were only 2 trainings per week, and it went through for my university classes. That's why I coached under 7th. But then when I came up the categories, under 11th, under 13th, under 15th, the football became like really expanded. And what I learned, the theoretical knowledge, I could imply more, because in under 7s you can't do these tactics, because you go into this specialization that is not for them. But I think the under 7s really helped me develop, especially this emotional connection, because the 6 years olds and 5 years, they don't lie. If they like it, they will say. if the training was bad, they will tell you, coach, this isn't for us. This is boring. Try something new. And this is where I got this emotional connection. What I want to do also now when I coach the first team in my current club, I also want this pristine connection with everyone, with every player, so they get they love to come to training.
Exactly, and that's the most important part of playing football, whether it's professionally, semi-professionally, or just in grassroots. You have to enjoy it, and you'll be the best that you possibly can be. You then got promoted into the under-13s team. Is that the sort of age where you can start to try and develop players into these more specialised roles?
Yeah, some of them, some of the coaches are doing it, but I always looked at football like I always, as a coach, I want to change positions of players until they are developed. Like till 18 years, I like to change the roles. I like to change the positions. Not for goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper is separate role. But in under 13s, I introduced some tactics, but it was basic. I didn't give them a clear game model. I wanted them to express themselves. It was also more on technique and understanding, and these 1v1s, how to where to dribble, where the opponent attacks you from one side, so they make the right decisions during the match. I think this group tactics or team tactics will come later, like in under 17s, under 19s, and then first team. But under 13s is the start of, so they get a hold of this basic tactic knowledge.
And again, I'm going to ask the same question here. You then became interim coach of the under-15s and in the senior team. What one did you enjoy more? And again, then you could start to more properly, I suppose, express these players more in the under-15s and then into the senior team.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to coach them for like 1.5 years, and I was head coach like last half season. I was head coach of under 15s and first team. But the teams of but the players are so different, because in 15s they are under 15s are very excited to come. They need to have this. If you believe in them, they will feel it. Um, Maybe then they are not so much about the result, but how you treat them, how you speak to them, how what they learn, how you handle, how you speak to them when they aren't playing, how you speak to someone that maybe isn't good enough in this age. They feel it. In the first team, it's usually this psychological thing is the same, but if you have someone that is very good, so high quality player, it will usually go if you don't pay him. So this is where the money comes into play, because you can have the best conditions, best pitches, best trainer, best exercises, best team. But if the money isn't there, if he gets paid somewhere else more, where the coaches scream at him, manipulate him, and so on, he will go because of the money. But under 15s, I see they are still kids trying to play adult football.
Absolutely. And there we go. You've hit the nail on the head that when money comes into it, people often change their perspective and the whole idea of the way that they want to play. You, I was about to say in your spare time, but I suppose in the spare time you are a coach. But when did you actually become the full-time role that you are now, which is obviously a PE teacher?
I became a PE teacher because I didn't get enough from football, enough pay from football. So I'm doing this PE teacher thing just to make enough money to support to support making it in football. So paying for the classes, I went to Nigeria, all these things, and to have we in Slovenia we have this system. If you are employed somewhere, you get social security, you get free health care, and so on. And that's why I am a PE teacher in the primary school.
Okay, so it's okay. And why would you not? So in England, there's quite a big difference between primary and secondary school.
Yeah.
Again, it's sort of in terms of, I suppose it's probably everywhere, that in the way that the kids are, the way that they behave. Why is primary school best for you? Is it maybe because the kids are a bit easier to deal with?
I think it's not best for me, but the school started on September, like 1st September, and I get an agreement with this club I'm currently in, that I will work full time in the club. But then October came, and this is amateur football club, and the financial situation changed in club, and they said they couldn't do it. And the only place that then searched for a PE teacher was primary school. So I didn't choose it. It was the only thing left.
Of course. I suppose in that situation, you have to take what I suppose is given to you there.
Yeah.
NK Maribor came up for you when you're still working now. And I got a bit confused, actually. There's two Maribors, which I never quite knew.
Yeah, the main club is NK Maribor, but the club I work for is NK Maribor Tabor. But we just call it NK Tabor. But
Okay.
the full name and the club also has a LinkedIn page and so on. That's why it's NK Maribor Tabor. But this is like a part of city. Like
Yes.
if it would been in, like, for example, Liverpool, it will be South Liverpool or some area of Liverpool,
Okay.
like that.
Okay. That makes more sense, because
Yeah.
I was getting very confused.
Yeah.
But there has to be a rivalry between the two clubs, right?
Yeah, it used to be. It used to be
Yeah.
when I was small. I started playing in the club called Jamie. It was the club before Tabor, and it was in first league, and Maribor it was in first league. So it was like the city derby, and the city is separated by the river. So on the right side, it were only the whole people, all of the people were for Maribor, and on the left side of the river, all people were for Železničar. But the club faced some financial situation. Some people took money from it, and it got shut down. And in the same place, NK Tabor developed. I think it was 2015, 2013, something like that. And yeah, now it's the club, but we are in the fourth league. Maribor is in first, so till the derby is, I think, some quite time.
Well, I mean, you never know. You could go on like a historic run and get promoted, and all of a sudden you play them.
Yeah.
With this club, though, you use a variety of tools, which I'm pretty interested in speaking about. For example, Y Scout or VO, but I want to speak about Y Scout. This is a unique tool that isn't really given to people like myself, which is annoying. Let me tell you that. But for you as a coach, for you as an analyst or a scout, what is the purpose of it? And is it as good as maybe I'm thinking it is?
Yeah, it's a really big tool to help, but I can't help it. I can't help it with my work, because it's
Okay.
I'm training, I'm coaching in the fourth league, and the stats and the videos on Y Scout are for higher clubs. Also, under 19s first league is there. So I usually I didn't use that much Y Scout, but I used it when I got access, because I know people in NK Maribor, these analysts, and also during this FA course, I had an opportunity to work on Y Scout, and the thing is really big, really huge database of videos, and the tool is really something else. You can edit videos, you can use their cloud base, and all the stats are there. So it's really a help for the high level clubs. But the level I'm in, I can't really help with it. So I use Vio. We use Vio.
And I think I'm pretty aware of what VO is. That's a recording of your game, and then it gets put onto VO.
Yeah. We record
Right.
almost every game. Then I download it, and then I edit and tag it, and then telestrate it in Live Tech Pro.
Yes.
I bought a Live Tech Pro because, like I said, we are amateur club, and I have this perspective. If I want to be professional someday, I have to put in the work. I have to put in the things I would do if I would professional. I I do my work here in amateur club is like I put in the hours of how I would put in the professional club. Okay, I can't because I have the PE job, but all the other time I focus only on football.
Of course, and that's it's inspiring to hear that, because that's exactly what you need to do to get to the top of your game. You are also a fitness coach as well, and I mean, this is going to sound like a really silly question, but what actually does a fitness coach do? And it must be a bit harder to do it in maybe a semi-professional setting.
Yeah, I was doing it, but I'm not doing anymore. I'm not into fitness. I think 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I really focused all of my work to football. I did this work of a fitness coach online because it was a thing that so I could make money and still be doing something I want. I didn't want to do this student's job, like waiting tables and doing something I don't want to do in my life. So that's why I did fitness to get this knowledge about, I don't know, strength and conditioning, and it was really helpful to me, so I could do it online.
Of course. And what does that actually do? What does it involve for you to be a fitness coach? What are you telling the players to do? And I suppose what happens if they don't actually listen to what you're telling them?
We have in our club we have this privilege that we have a fitness of our own. So once per week we have this fitness training, and I usually do it. I usually do with them this basic power, basic strength, but also this prevention. I think it helped me most was to give them this motorical knowledge, because when the players hit puberty, like in under 15s, they usually hit puberty, their coordination starts to decline, and with this exercises, coordination exercises, this agility exercises, it can really help them not get injured. Um, so, but as you mentioned, we are a very small country. We can't really have our best players injured. Like for example, in Nigeria, where I was 1 month or 2 months ago, they have, I think, 250 million population, and if the three best players get injured, they can still produce a huge amount of good players. But if in our small country of Slovenia, three players get injured, that is like half of team.
Can you talk to me about you now are a senior head coach of the team,
Yeah.
And it's in the fourth division, as you said. For a team like that, and I suppose it's going on to what you're saying there, you have to work with younger players. Is that your focus, to work with players that are in their 20s, their teens, and to really try and help them into the first team as much as you can?
Yeah, I have this privilege to work with them, but it is a must to work with them, because the club isn't really financially stable, and we can't play anyone. We can't pay anyone, so they are basically playing for free. And the older players, they won't play for free. Nobody in this league plays for free. They usually get like 500, or these players that are on the bench usually get 200 euros in other clubs. uh, but in our club, they don't get anything. They get like 50 euros maybe per month, but it's usually late. So these are the conditions we are in, and we are trying to make it work. We are still fighting for the championship, because me and the managing director or sport director picked up some players that want to develop. We can't pay them, but we can how do you say, we can develop them. So I get 1v1 talks with them. I sometimes do individual training with them. If And we train 4 times per week as a team. I also, like, for example, during the week, Monday we usually do fitness. Tuesday we have a training. Thursday we do some individual training for like running technique, technique of shooting, technique of passing. Um, then then Thursday, Friday we do team training, and then on the weekend game. I also try to send them an analysis of every game, and we also talk, like 1v1 talk after each game, how they did in training, how they did on in game, what can they develop. So that really pushes me, and that really intrigues me into it, because when I'm working with them, I'm like in the whole another world. I'm flying. I'm really flying. So this is what I want in life.
Of course, of course. Could you now tell me, lastly, about why you went to Nigeria, and could you talk to me about the whole experience of you going to another country so far away from home?
Yeah, our sport director is usually actually a scout, and he uh, makes he has this connection in Nigeria and helps the player there. There are from these poor regions or countryside regions to come to Europe and try to make it professional in football. So, like, for now in Tabor we had 2 Nigerians, and now 3 Nigerians are coming to us. We developed these 2 Nigerians, so now they transferred into third league, and I think uh, they will get far in the years ahead. Um, but now we are expecting 3 Nigerians, so we went therefore to scout to see the players, and it's really, the country really is something, really has everything, but uh, I didn't feel really safe there. If it wasn't for, we had protection during the whole time, but without protection, I think it would be quite scary, yeah, because we were on the border with North, and there are some this terroristic group, and it could get ugly, it could get dangerous. So without these connections, we wouldn't go there.
Of course, I completely understand that. Last thing I wanted to touch upon was that whole security purpose, and I know that this happens a lot in countries around the world. Was your security just normal Nigerian men or women, or were they armed police officers?
Yeah, the academy we were in uh, really organized everything for us. Like, I think the name is 5D Global, and the owner is from America, um, and he really organized everything. We had like, I think, 5 army men with us during the whole time. Uh, when we went from the hotel to the pitch, we were by the army car was driving with us, so we didn't have any trouble. Also, when we came to the beach, the security guards were near us and always with us. If we needed anything, they were always there. But it isn't how would I say it isn't pleasing when we turned on the TV and heard the news that Trump was going to bomb Nigeria and so on with these threats. And yeah, it could get quite scary. Also seeing the civilization in this sort of way, because I didn't know what to expect, because in Europe and also in UK it's everything is in order. We have roads, we don't have trouble with fightings. We also there we saw fighting on the street, and some really poor people. So that's the third world countries, but
Of course, of course. And I'm very intrigued with all these African experiences that I've heard people go on. But look, Matjaž, I've been intrigued, I've been inspired by your journey. And honestly, I wish you all the best in the future. And also, congratulations on your newborn child that we didn't mention. And
Thank you.
I'm sure you're going to be a very good dad. And maybe he could be the best player that you've ever worked with one day.
Thank you. I hope I will see where he lands. So if he wants any other sport, I will support him. I don't want to force him into football. Thank you again for inviting me to the podcast. It was my first one, and I hope when I make it professional, we can have another one.
Oh, of course. And maybe actually we can head out to where you are and we can do an in-person podcast.
Yeah, I would really be glad to do it.